Welcome to the Angelina College Guide to the FAFSA. This video is intended to help high school seniors navigate the free application for Federal Student Aid, or FAFSA. This presentation includes a page-by-page guide to creating an FSA ID, filling out personal and tax information for students and parents, signing the application, and how to contact the Angelina College Financial Aid Office. One way to access the federal application is through our website. To access the application through the Angelina College website, go to angelina.edu, find the Admissions tab, then click Financial Aid. Our Financial Aid page has a link to the FAFSA website. Simply click Apply Now to be redirected to the application site. The FAFSA is the free application for federal student aid, and it can be found at FAFSA.ed.gov. This is the first page you will see when you pull up the site. To begin your application, click the Start Here button. You will need to create a Student Fsa Id in order to access your FAFSA online after it is filled out or to return to the application that is still in progress. Click I am the student, then the blue hyperlink that says Create One. The Create One link brings you to this page. Read through everything and click Get Started. You will need to be able to check the email address and/or the mobile phone number that you provide, so keep that in mind. This first page asks for personal information. Keep in mind this is the student's personal information. Fill in the requested information and click Continue. On this screen, you will need to create a unique username and password, and also provide an email address that you can check now. The username and password you create will be used to access your FAFSA for the rest of your college career, so make note of them and keep them safe. This page requires more student information. Keep in mind this is current information for the student. Provide a mobile phone number that you can check now for account verification. It is recommended that you select the email option here. Make sure to check the email address you provided, as this is how you will be notified about your federal student aid updates. Challenge questions are useless if you can't remember the answers when you're locked out of your account. Be sure to select questions you know the answers to and do not choose questions with answers that change over time. Your favorite color or television show right now might be completely different by your senior year of college. Be careful about spelling and punctuation in your answers, as these must be an exact match. Review the information you entered and make sure everything is correct. At this point, you need to make any necessary changes. Verify the email address or the mobile number you provided in the previous steps. Click the button for the mobile or email to send a verification code. The verification code will be sent to the mobile number or email address, depending on which one you are verifying. Check the code carefully and enter it into the form. The code is only valid for 30 minutes. If you wait longer than that, you will have to get a new code. The lower part of the screen shows you what the verification email will look like. Click the blue Return to studentaid.gov button and use your FSA ID to fill out the FAFSA. You will receive an email confirming your information has been matched and verified. Now you can use the FSA ID username and password that you created to log into the FAFSA. Only you can use this information. Parents must create an FSA ID of their own in order to sign the FAFSA. Read and accept the conditions to continue with the FAFSA. To fill out a FAFSA that covers the fall semester of 2021 and the spring of 2022, choose the Start 2021-2022 FAFSA option. If you are graduating high school in 2021 and plan to start college that fall or spring, this is the option you need. Create a 4-digit save code that you will remember. This key can be used to return to an incomplete FAFSA and can be used by parents to access the student's FAFSA. The tabs on this page are frequently asked questions. When you feel you are ready to proceed, click Next. The information required on the next several pages is strictly student information unless specifically noted otherwise. The same email and phone numbers provided earlier with the FSA ID username and password are fine to use here. Keep in mind you are entering current information on these screens. Also keep in mind to answer honestly to all of the questions. List your status as it will be when you begin college in the fall of 2020. Select the degree or certificate program you are planning to work toward. If you do not have a bachelor's degree, please select No. Select Never attended college first year, even if you were a dual credit student in high school. Males over the age of 18 must be registered with the Selective Service in order to be eligible for federal or state funds. The FAFSA website will register you with the Selective Service system, or you can register yourself. If you do not have a driver's license, just click Next. It is important that you remember which parent you list as Parent 1 and Parent 2. It does not matter which is which, just make sure you remember. If you only have one parent, select your parent's education level in the Parent 1 box and click Next. Make sure to save your application periodically. You will use this page to search for the high school you are graduating from. Choose your school carefully. Make sure the school name and city are correct. On this screen, you can list up to 10 colleges that you want to receive your FAFSA information. If you are planning to attend Angelina College, you can search for the school using the federal school code of 006661. If you forget our school code or want to add other schools, you can search for them using the search criteria. It is important to remember, however, no matter how many schools you list on your FAFSA, students can only receive federal funds at one school per semester. Receiving federal funds at more than one school will make you subject to repayment of those funds. If you chose Angelina College as one of your school, please select off-campus or with parent as your living arrangements, since our campus housing is not currently available. If you are adding other schools and wish to see their housing options, click the View College Info button. Still referring to the student, this question is asking for your current legal marital status. If you are answering yes to the first question, you yourself must be providing at least half of the support for the child or children. If your parent is providing more than half of the support, then they claim that child as one of their dependents. If you choose yes to any of these questions other than none of the above, documentation will be required by the school. It will make the process much faster and smoother if you have the documentation on hand. Get in touch with one of our financial aid advisors if you need help determining what documentation is needed. If you checked any boxes on the previous page or answered yes to the question on this page, please contact the financial aid office at the school you are planning to attend to make sure you understand the terminology used before you submit your FAFSA. Every semester, we have students who believe they are in legal guardianship because they were not raised by their parent, when in actuality, they are not and must provide parent information. At this point, independent students are almost finished with the application. Dependent students have more to fill out as they must provide parent information. List the current legal marital status of the parent you are reporting on the application. Enter information here for whichever parent you have chosen as parent 1. Enter information here for whichever parent you have chosen as parent 2. If you are only reporting one parent, simply click Next. Answer if your parents lived in the state, regardless of whether or not you lived with them the whole time. Carefully read each section and fill in the appropriate numbers. It is important that you list the right form and filing status, as the next few pages use this information to determine where you can find the requested information. Please do not guess. The application is based on financial information from 2019 income tax returns. Do not guess at amounts or other answers, as this only leads to corrections having to be made. It is recommended that you use the IRS data retrieval tool to link your tax information to the application by the IRS. The data retrieval tool doesn't just make the application easier, it also eliminates potential mistakes in entering information and can eliminate the need for tax paperwork to be presented to your financial aid advisor. If you choose to enter tax information manually, the application questions tell you exactly where to find the amounts requested. Again, do not guess or change amounts. This will only lead to corrections having to be made. Read these questions very carefully. Ask for help if you need it. Your school counselor or financial aid advisor at the school you are attending can help. The blue hyperlinks provided lead to information about the questions. If you are unsure what a question is asking for, ask for help. Again, read the question carefully and follow the instructions to find what line contains your information. Read each question carefully and enter the amounts on the lines indicated. Again, read these questions carefully and answer honestly. You are almost done with the parent information. Notice the banner at the top. We are back to entering student information. If the student worked and filed taxes in 2019, the information requested will be the same as in the parent section. If you did not file taxes in 2019, simply select that option from the first drop-down. If you did file taxes in 2019, it is recommended that you use the IRS data retrieval tool to minimize potential errors and speed up the application process. Otherwise, complete the student tax information the same way you did for the parent information. After the student tax information has been completed, you will be asked if you are a preparer. The term preparer, as used here, does not refer to the student, parent, or a financial aid advisor helping you. A preparer is a person who professionally prepares this kind of document, usually for someone with a disability that prevents them from doing so themselves. This is the easiest place for us to make corrections concerning your FAFSA. Scroll through this screen and make sure there are no errors. If you see an error, click on the blue hyperlink to go to that screen and make corrections. If the application is signed electronically, it takes 3 to 5 business days after submission to process and be available at the school, where it will be processed according to the school's policies. To electronically sign the application, you will need the FSA IDs you created earlier. If you were unable to create an FSA ID, there will be other options for signing the FAFSA. Read through the terms, and if you agree, click Agree and then Next to sign the form. If you signed into the FAFSA using your FSA ID, your electronic signature is automatic. Simply click Sign this FAFSA. Now it is the parent's turn to sign electronically if they have created an FSA ID. Once again, remember which parent you designated as Parent 1 or Parent 2. Whichever parent is signing the FAFSA must select the appropriate option. Usually, only one signature is needed. You will be notified if a second is needed. The parent should read through the terms, and if they agree, click Agree and then Next to sign the form. Since the parent in this example was not the one signed into the application while it was being completed, entering the parent's FSA ID and password is required to sign electronically. If the parent has not created an FSA ID, they can do so with the blue hyperlink, or there are other options for signing. If you choose to print the signature page and mail it in, your application will take longer to process. Doing it this way can add up to 2 weeks to the processing time, so just be aware of that. You may also submit the application and return later to sign it electronically. Keep in mind, it has to be signed before it will be processed by the Department of Ed. If you were able to sign electronically, then you may simply verify the information on this screen and click Submit My FAFSA now. Congratulations, you finished the FAFSA application. Print or screenshot this page for your records and make sure your school or schools are listed. A financial aid advisor will get in touch with you if anything else is needed, usually by email. If you have chosen Angelina College as your school, someone in our financial aid department is ready to help you.